we believe everyone should be doing advocacy, and I can say that a lot of the organizations that we support both are the groups that really do focus on policy and pushing campaigns forward, as well as direct service organizations that do this work. And we see it as all, there's a lot of things that are not benefiting and helping our communities, and they are not going to change if we only address the symptoms, right? We need to address the root causes, the big reasons, the big policies that perpetuate homelessness, perpetuate violence, like all of the issues that everyone cares about. There is always a policy in place of why it's continuing to do that. And I think especially through the pandemic, we saw an increase in service organizations, direct service organizations reaching out to us and wanting to learn how to engage in advocacy, wanting to understand how to engage their communities in these conversations around what they're doing. We always really want to center impacted communities in all of our policies. And I think when we look historically, that has not always been what is done. And the communities looked really different, a few hundred years ago when a lot of these laws were passed. And so, there is definitely a distinction, and we are working to support all organizations that really want to address those root causes and really want to change policy and not just perpetuate sort of this, providing just services and not working to, put pressure on elected officials and change that. And I'll also say that with our definition of advocacy and in doing legislative advocacy, there is so much that encompasses there. And I know that a lot of folks who are less familiar might think of, lobbyists or other things. And what we also, want to emphasize is actually with advocacy, it's so much education, right? Because we have organizations that are doing the work, they're on the ground. During the pandemic, we saw this. We had advocacy organizations that predominantly would lead campaigns switch to provide services because that's where the community knew to go. And so they were on the ground, they know exactly what's needed. And so the education in advocacy when you're talking to decision makers and elected officials is so important, because very often they're pretty far away. The governor is not, may not actually know what's happening on the ground when things are when emergencies are occurring